love this feeling of power. I am invincible!
Welcome to the Junkyard Wars semifinals. Today we're really going to make some waves, and our teams have just 10 hours to engineer miracles out of all this junk.
The challenge this week is to build the ultimate weapon of war on the high seas, a torpedo.
Battle will take place in a swimming pool. Each team will fire their torpedoes from boats at opposite ends of the pool. They'll have to steer them through an obstacle course and hit the underwater target attached to the opposing team's boat.
The victors will float to fame in the Junkyard Wars finals.
All the way from NASA are the Rocket Men. They'll be boldly going where no spaceman has gone before, underneath the waves.
We help put people in space.
The Rocket Men are going to sweep the series.
Failure's not an option. Junkyard Wars, Houston won't have any trouble with this mission.
We are the Rocket Men.
In round one, they built a jet boat and roared through the rapids to a whitewater victory.
Yes!
In charge of getting the Rocket Men under the waves is mini sub builder Joe Curran. Joe's subs don't usually carry torpedoes, but that won't stop him from building one.
Taking aim at the Rocket Men are the Law Dogs, cool cops from Modesto, California. They won't be taking any prisoners.
We've been trained to work on the street as a team.
We go out, me and my canine Toro here, we go out and catch bad guys.
We can work well under pressure.
One thing is certain here is we're going to win.
In round one, they did battle with the bikers in a death-defying monster truck duel. Helping the Law Dogs get wet is Junkyard Wars veteran Greg Bryant. In his last challenge, Greg disappeared beneath the waves in a quest for sunken treasure. His job this time is to make sure the Law Dogs don't get sunk.
Build me the ultimate junkyard torpedo.
You get just 10 hours to build your machines. The time starts when the Junkyard Gonger gongs. Are you ready?
Yeah!
So it's off to their separate build bays for some planning and plotting.
Okay, Joe, so we've got to build a torpedo, and we've got to hit a target. What do we do?
You want a pressure hull with batteries, elevators, and rudders, and you want a main thruster in the back. You put your steering in the front.
in the back and steering in the front.
Right.
The Rocket Men's torpedo is all electric. They'll need car batteries, which they'll place in a watertight tube and connect to a large electric motor to propel the torpedo through the water. Two small electric fans will provide steering, and they'll also need some sort of remote control to guide the torpedo to the target.
Two smaller DC motors and a big DC motor, and those are big ticket items if we don't find the motors.
We're also going to need some way of controlling this. A radio-controlled airplane with servos.
What I've got in mind is a little bit different. Actually, it's going more along the lines of a modern torpedo. Modern torpedoes have eliminated propellers. There's a lot of advantages for doing that. The propeller has a tendency to twist the torpedo. We don't want to do that. We just want it to go straight through the water.
The Law Dogs plan to use a tank of compressed gas to power a nifty pump, producing a jet of high-pressure water. They'll steer their torpedo from their boat. Hydraulic pistons, connected via long hoses, will direct the water jet and fins.
To be in a real high-velocity stream, so I'd like to actually take the nozzle and move it back and forth.
Okay. Like a jet boat.
Exactly like a jet boat.
Starting, right?
The police investigation concerns pipes, hoses, and a fancy pump for their gas-powered torpedo, while the Rocket Men's mission is to gather all the batteries, motors, fans, and wires they need to go electric.
Our expert Joe has come up with, I think, an excellent scheme. We're going to build, instead of a classic torpedo, we're going to build almost an underwater submarine.
Excellent.
The Rocket Men's electric torpedo will consist of a plastic tube filled with batteries powering an electric motor. They plan to control the torpedo from their boat. One small radiator fan mounted vertically will move the torpedo from left to right, and a horizontal one will control its depth. But if they get their wires crossed, it could spin out of control.
I see hoses. I see lots of junk lying around. So why don't you explain the design, what you guys are actually going for? And
Okay.
try and do it with clean hands, would you?
Well, actually, I don't need a pen now. I can just do it with this. What we'd like to do is build a torpedo that uses a water jet thrust. Modern torpedoes no longer use propellers. Problem with propellers is they can only go a certain speed. Once they get up to that speed, they can't go any faster.
think I've got a pump.
What's your 1020?
I think I got a pump. Those are magic
Let us
words.
know what it looks like. Chicken Hawk is impressed. Does it look nasty?
Yeah, it's really nasty.
The Law Dog's crafty pump will be powered by a cylinder of compressed gas. The pump sucks water in one end and pushes pulses of high-pressure water out of the other. By forcing water through a narrow nozzle, they'll produce a powerful jet that'll thrust the torpedo towards its target under the enemy's boat.
What do they normally pump through here?
Chicken manure, any kind of suspended solids. I really like this.
Are you happy?
This is good.
To keep their torpedo watertight, every measurement needs to be exact. It should be no problem for the men from NASA.
Okay, at its widest,
It's
it's a foot.
Hey, what's inches to centimeters? 2
I don't know. And
NASA has a sad history of confusing inches and centimeters. Remember the ill-fated Mars probe?
grams. That's 0.7 kilograms.
Yeah.
1,000 grams in a kilogram, obviously. So
Boy, you really are a NASA engineer. All right, yeah, 2.205.
Now they have to check out their steering fans.
doing this as safely as I can so as not to kill myself.
Sweet.
Worst case, we've got a boat, or at least we've got one motor.
Drop it in the
The
water.
Law Dogs are ready to test their sewage pump. Thankfully, they're using fresh water.
Okay, let me. Holy!
How's that, huh?
Pump some water.
Okay.
We got a pump.
We got a pump.
We have propulsion.
World War I was the first time the deadly power of the torpedo was unleashed. By the Second World War, German U-boats ruled the waves, and Allied shipping paid a heavy price as hundreds of ships went down. Today, torpedoes are like miniature subs that can be steered remotely and can even search out and destroy other submarines. Our junkyard judge knows a thing or two about today's challenge. United States Navy Rear Admiral Gus Gustafson used to command a dozen nuclear submarines and has fired over 700 torpedoes in his time.
Yeah.
Which design do you like the best? Where do you put your money?
I put my money with the Law Dogs right now. I like the simplicity of it.
They found a powerful electric fishing boat motor ideal for propelling their torpedo through the water.
It's torquing. Man, is it torquing.
And a substantial tube for the body of their torpedo.
That's exactly what we need.
But they still haven't built anything.
Hey guys, look what we found.
Hey, how about that?
Oh, you're kidding me.
You guys have it. You found a remote control. And it's got the left, right, the up and down. Perfect.
And the problem is we've got an up and down motor, and a left and right motor, and the drive.
6 hours, teams. You have 6 hours to complete your torpedoes.
The Law Dogs need to work out how quickly their pump can, well, pump.
Okay, ready? Ready? Go. Off. Good. Excellent. Good.
7.47 seconds.
Okay, let's see what that... Oh, shoot. My calculator.
Now that Greg's measured the flow rate, he can work out the optimum size of the water jet nozzle that will give them maximum thrust. The Law Dogs plan to funnel the water from the pump through a narrow nozzle, concentrating the power of the jet. As with a garden hose, the narrower the nozzle, the faster the velocity of the water jet and the more force generated. But too narrow, and there's no power at all. Greg must get his calculations right, as they'll only have a couple of minutes of gas in their tank.
The thrust you get out of one of these nozzles, thrust is equal to the density of the material times the velocity squared times the area.
Shouldn't be really.
It is. This is them. This is them.
In terms of rocket science brains, there's quite a lot going on over here. Is it the Law Dogs are?
I know. They're doing a great job.
They're so far, I mean, they're so far in the lead, because you look over here in the rocket men's camp and really it is just a tube,
Like this.
a ladder, and a lot of bits of wire.
No. Because it doesn't look like we actually have Cat 5 here.
What is it? Cat something else?
The rocket men have abandoned radio control to steer their torpedo. They'll have to use a long cable. Unfortunately, they can't use any old wire.
I don't know either.
Over in the precinct, expert Greg is concerned about the power of his pump. His calculations just don't hold water.
Because I think our flow is a little restricted.
The rocket men are desperately searching for some special cable that will allow Mission Control to talk to their electric torpedo. But they still haven't started building, and they're beginning to feel the heat.
Whoa. I'm missing 2 dual pole, dual throw relays, and I'm missing any relays that work.
Hit it hard and it's easy.
Next door, the Law Dogs are into criminal damage. They need this hinged pipe for their steering device.
Okay. Let's see if we can adapt that. The nozzle's going to actually sit in the middle of this.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
So this is just a housing.
Gotcha.
Because it's already built.
Expert Greg has finally determined the size of the jet nozzle that will maximize the power of their pump. Mike now has to knock one together using bits of junkyard plumbing.
No, you gotta love that. Okay. That's what you gotta love.
Okay. As good as any jet ski.
4 hours! You have 4 hours remaining!
The rocket men have yet to launch into orbit, but at least they're on the ladder. This'll serve as the mount for their powerful fishing boat motor.
Excellent.
We ditched our radio controls.
The rocket men plan to steer their torpedo by flicking switches on a control panel connected via a long cable to the car radiator fans. If they operate the horizontally mounted fan, they'll be able to move the torpedo up and down. They'll power the vertically mounted fan to move left or right. But if it all gets wet, the rocket men's torpedo could fizzle out long before reaching the target.
In terms of time, we're over the halfway mark.
We're over the halfway mark, and we've got a long way to go, but the majority of the components we need are here. There's still a few things we're missing that we've got to go find.
In space, I don't suppose you get to deal with water particularly much.
Not often, but NASA's actually now working on a submarine of its own because of Europa. If you heard about that moon of Jupiter, looks like actually might have a water ocean.
There. Oh, really?
And it's underneath a big thick layer of ice, but what we're going to try and figure out how to do is send a space probe to Europa, and it has to drill through the ice and then drop a little submarine in.
Oh, well, you might have a head start.
And this will give us a head start on the whole program.
I'm sure this will be the prototype for that exact probe.
I'm sure it will be.
The canny cops now need guidance. Dave and Greg are building the pistons for their torpedo's steering system.
No, we get a better seal if we grease those up.
How's that?
The Law Dogs will be connected to their torpedo by a long hose filled with water. By pushing on a plunger, they'll force water down the hose, activating a piston on the torpedo. This will move the water jet left or right. Another identical hose will enable them to control depth by moving fins up and down.
That's slick.
That's beyond slick.
Beyond slick?
Beyond slick. I don't even know how you categorize that.
Put the bolt in?
Checking in with the Law Dogs. First, guys, I must get into character because I want to make sure I completely fit in with you here. So, all right, I want you guys to actually show me how this is working if you can. That'd be great.
Okay, you ready you got a full load of water there?
I do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, stand back.
Ready to turn?
Stand by,
Yeah.
stand by.
Stand back.
Standing by.
Port.
Look at that.
Over.
Back to port.
That is
And
great. You're not intimidated by the whole, we're rocket scientists, we're NASA guys.
I don't see him on TV flying the shuttle.
Well, they do maintenance on the shuttle.
Finally, the rocket men are actually building the frame for their torpedo. And in the yard, Jim finds the last part of their nautical jigsaw puzzle.
I got what looks like some relays.
Switches. I'll bring them in and see what y'all need.
Outstanding.
But Judge Rear Admiral Gustafson is worried.
A couple of concerns. One is that they took a long time gathering the parts, the switches and the relays, and they basically, I think, now have everything they need to put it together, and they've started doing the actual construction. The question now is whether or not they can get the construction done in time, number one, and number two, how much those batteries weigh, how are they going to get the thing neutrally buoyant, and how are they going to control it? Law Dogs are using that PVC hose behind them to control the thing, and I'm still concerned that that's going to pull them backwards.
So these two teams, these two torpedo designs we've got here, any chance you might want to change your mind?
Not yet. I think Law Dogs are ahead of power curve. They will have time to test their design and iron out the kinks. I'm more worried that the rocket men are a little bit behind the power curve.
The policemen are crafting some small fins. By moving these up and down, they should be able to control the torpedo's depth.
We got bow planes.
Dive, Captain, dive.
Can you believe it? You only have 2 hours to complete your Titanic torpedoes. The NASA boys' high standards seem to be slipping.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's a nasty cut. All right.
As long as I don't saw any fingers off, we're in good shape.
Joe and Mike are busy turning the radiator fans into steering thrusters.
Spin. As long as we center it.
As long as we center it.
Who's your money on? The ladder or the plank?
Well, when you put it that way, when you look at the two at where they are right now, you cannot but go with the Law Dogs, because the Law Dogs actually have something that resembles a junkyard torpedo.
Well, exactly, but you know how these things pan out.
I laid 2 of them here.
Right.
Joe, quite frankly, I got to be honest with you, just between you and me, are you confident that you can get this done?
It's going to be tight. I'm not going to deny that, but I think we'll do it.
Well, I don't know. I got to tell you.
When you come back in 3 hours and you can ride on it.
In 3 hours, you guys are going to be out of time. That's the problem.
Okay.
You got less than 2 hours at this point, so you guys got to get on it. Light a fire under this thing, okay?
The Law Dogs are ready to launch, so it's out to the test tank in the yard. Stand by to fire torpedo.
Got our valves on that side now.
Hold on. Let me get right. Mike through Jackson.
This is all looking very exciting over here.
Bring it. Ready? Fire in the hole.
5.
It's a thumper.
That is the funniest machine I've ever seen.
Now the rocket men are go. They secure the tube to their frame and slip in a tray for their beefy batteries.
Alrighty.
The Law Dogs only get 2 minutes of power from their compressed gas. Will it produce enough thrust to get them to the target?
805? Yeah, so let's do a thrust test and see where we are. 4. Keep pulling it back. Okay, shutting it off. We got 4 pounds of thrust on that one. Not as high as I'd hoped, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's working okay. 4 pounds is still okay. I mean, it's not going to accelerate as much as we want.
Teams, it's the moment you've been dreading. You have 1 hour remaining.
Oh, plenty of time, plenty of time. Plenty of time.
The rocket men are still hoping to make the final countdown.
Battery number 1, battery number 2, and finally, battery number 3.
Sweet.
The seal must be perfect. Leaking water will ruin their electrics. Next, Mike lines up the radiator fan that will control the torpedo's depth. Things have really come together
Haven't
over
they?
on the rocket
They're
man
taking
side.
off over here.
Yeah, really impressive.
I was going to say it's starting to look like a torpedo, but it doesn't really look like a torpedo, does it? It looks like a chimney on its
It looks
side.
like a fire log more than anything.
And as for the Law Dogs,
Don't get me started.
cruising to the back. There's a burr under their saddle, you might say.
Yeah.
They've only got 2 minutes to hit their target. That's all or nothing.
30 minutes to finish your torpedoes.
Okay.
The Law Dogs are taking their driving test.
Okay, bow plane, give me steering. Oh, yeah. Keep going. Okay, push it back.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we're getting full steering.
Rocketman, put your tools down. Time's up.
Rocketman, your time has been extended 1 hour.
Over in Mission Control, they're connecting the last cables and welding a weight tray for balance. Gus, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the rocket men are actually going to finish in
I
time.
think they are. They've got it pretty much together. They're ready for their tank test.
Where do you give the edge between the two torpedoes?
If the Law Dogs are able to take careful aim and drive it right into the target, they'll win. If they have to go circle around and chase it, they'll lose.
At last, it's blast off for the rocket men.
Awesome.
It floats.
Sweet.
Outstanding.
Rocket men, it is sink or swim time. You have 5 minutes.
We better hurry.
Only 5 minutes left.
It doesn't seem to leak, but there's no time to test anything else.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Are they done yet?
Teams, put your tools down. It's all over. And give yourselves a hand for a job well done for tomorrow.
you go to war.
Will the Law Dog's nitrogen-fueled sewage pump torpedo have enough puff to last the course?
And will the Rocketmen's electric torpedo, powered by a boat motor and steered by radiator fans, take in water or go out with a bang? Hey, welcome back to Junkyard Wars, where we're finally ready to let loose the torpedoes. I said torpedoes! Unfortunately, the Pacific Ocean was already booked. So instead, we've decided to use my own private swimming pool.
The rules are simple. The teams will be patrolling opposite ends of the course, each in their own rowing boat. When battle commences, they'll fire their torpedoes at a target hanging under their opponent's boat. They can take evasive action, but they've only got one oar. The team that scores the most hits will be through to the Junkyard Wars finals.
But follow me for a tour of the course.
The torpedoes will have to navigate through an obstacle course. A reef separates the two teams and they'll have to steer their torpedoes through a small gap in the middle. Slip through here and they still have to avoid some anti-submarine nets. And finally direct their torpedoes to this target under the enemy's boat.
Oh, the other thing. I think it's here.
Before battle can commence, both teams have an hour to tweak their machines. The Rocketmen still haven't tested their electric torpedo and are tensely connecting up a tangle of wires. It's vital that the seal is watertight, otherwise their weapon will be going nowhere.
The Law Dogs are refining the hydraulic steering on their gas-powered torpedo, which they've christened Thumper.
Full speed or half speed?
I don't care.
Let's go full.
That's full?
Yes!
Straighten her out. I'm gonna hold her steady. So hold her steady.
Okay, we're circling. We're gonna bring her back in if we can.
Steering is critical. They've only a few minutes of gas, and if Thumper gets tangled in the obstacles, she may run out of puff before she gets to the target.
Hit the expert, hit the expert. All right.
It works fantastically. Have you had any thoughts about what you're going to be doing actually on your boat?
That would be up to our captain.
Captain?
Everybody has a job.
Oh, okay. What's the job?
And we have Dave manning the up and down, Mike steering, Greg's going to be our spotter, and...
Oh, yeah! That thing ain't slow. Man, that thing hooks. Woo!
So talk me through the high-tech mission control operation.
Well, it's actually just like we've got in Houston, obviously. You have an up and down switch to select which way we want to run that motor, and then a momentary to run it, and the same for left and right.
Yeah, so if I press, I'm not going to...
Press the thruster.
Press the thruster and feel what the... Oh, it gives it's quite an oomph, isn't it?
It is.
So this is going to be your job to be in control of all of these?
We'll see if I end up driving it the whole time. I've said that I'll drive it the first time, so if I break it, it's my fault.
Admirable captain responsibility. Good luck in the competition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, a final inspection from our judge, Rear Admiral Gus Gustafson. What are some of your concerns with the Law Dog's Thumper?
Well, Thumper's endurance is a problem. They've got about 3 minutes worth of gas, so when they run out of gas, it's all over. And the second one is if they get hung up on something, they have no way to back off, other than just pulling on their tubes, which they don't want to do because they may break it.
Okay, the Rocketmen, marine debris.
Marine debris.
This is all very NASA in here.
That's a very NASA looking. That's lots of wires, everything properly labeled, of course, also. The real issue is whether or not it's going to leak, whether or not they're going to lose electrical connection, and whether or not those fans hold out.
You've been with the Law Dogs the whole time?
Yep.
What do you figure?
If the Law Dogs get in there quick, they'll get them.
So the Law Dogs it is.
The teams take to their rowboats. The Rocketmen at one end of the pool, the Law Dogs at the other.
Teams, all diplomatic channels have been exhausted. Our only option left is all-out war. Let's go to battle. On the horn, launch your torpedoes.
The Law Dog's Thumper is off to a thunderous start.
But there seems to be a problem in the Rocketmen's waters.
It's not moving. It's not moving.
Marine debris is already living up to its name. It's sunk straight to the bottom, and it's going nowhere.
You got it. In through it.
The Law Dogs are on their way through.
Oh!
Kathy, that is either a shark or a torpedo coming at you.
You want to try and lift it with the hoe?
Yeah. Can we lift it up?
The rocket men are desperately trying to revive marine debris. It's too late. Thumper is homing for the kill.
We may have a collision between torpedoes here. They're pinning them against the wall, literally.
Okay, make them miss.
It's frantic evasive action from the rocket men. All Thumper has to do now is turn towards the target underneath the boat.
But no! It looks like Thumper's gone the wrong way!
They missed. They turned too soon.
We're twisted up in that net. I can see that barrier net moving over there.
So, after the first shot, it's Thumper in the net and marine debris sunk and taking on water fast.
Howdy.
It's back to dry dock and out with the duct tape.
Now, what about your electrics in there?
We probably got the back end of the batteries wet, but the electronics all look dry.
Do they?
And the motors were still running, even filled with water. So
okay.
we're pretty confident that the machine is still stable, and if we can just solve our seal problem, we're all set.
Yeah.
You tightening them now?
While the rocket men try to seal their destiny, the Law Dogs fuel their ambitions with another cylinder of nitrogen.
Teams, it's time for round number 2. Let's try and hit something this time, all right?
Push it, push it, push it.
The cops are off first, but this time the NASA boys are definitely not sunk.
Now it's the Law Dogs Thumper who seems to be heading for the bottom.
I can't. Pull back.
Dave can't control Thumper, but it powers through the first obstacle anyway.
Down and all ahead fulls. Keep turning right. Down, down. There you go, there you go, there you go.
The rocket men are seizing their chances and are first through the reef in the middle of the pool.
Okay, all up, all up, all up, all up.
Rocket men are flying, they're flying.
Right.
Marine debris is homing into the target. The Law Dogs need to take evasive action.
Keep turning right. You're going to go right under them.
Looks like the rocket man. Oh, they missed. Oh! So let's focus our attention over on the Law Dogs now.
Law Dogs are trying to get around and under that obstacle.
Kathy, what's going on with the Law Dogs Thumper?
He, I think, is thumping his last thump at this point. He's snarled up on one of the nets, and I think that nitrogen gas is breathing its last breath.
After the first 2 shots, neither team has found the target. Teams, this is not pat a cake. We're at war. Go to battle at the sound of the horn.
Let her go, buddy.
Let her go, let her
The
go.
Law Dogs are already in trouble. Tom can't turn on the gas. But finally, Thumper's away. Up the other end, the rocket men are having no problems. Or are they? Kind of makes you worry about the space station, doesn't it?
Left. Left? Well, my left. Whatever.
Just point,
Right.
just point.
Go on my
Just
hand
point.
direction. Okay.
Okay, down.
All ahead full.
Down and
go.
ahead.
Despite the confusion, they're still going through the gap first.
Oh, the rocket men are through.
Okay, cut it all up.
Law Dog's Thumper is heading for the gap too.
Uh-oh, very close call here.
Oh, we got her. What was that, a collision there?
And now marine debris is getting tangled in Thumper's hoses.
Turn, good. Turn through.
The Law Dogs Thumper is squeezing through the gap on a mission to seek and destroy.
Go that way. Go that way. Go that way.
That net got
Go
Thumper
that
last
way.
time. She's giving it a wide berth.
Turn this way. Turn left.
All she has to do now is turn left onto the target.
The Law Dogs have got the rocket men pinned.
Go, 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 go.
Oh, but it looks like they've gone under the boat, though.
That's it.
Okay, they're fouling the line.
Thumper scraped the bottom of the boat, but didn't hit the target. A near miss for the Law Dogs.
At the other end, the hunters have become the hunted. The rocket men are lining up for the kill.
I feel like a sitting duck. Nudge forward and then do hard left.
Go.
Full ahead, full ahead, full ahead, full ahead. Go, 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 go. Hard left, hard
Push
left.
a full head.
Hard left, hard left, hard left, hard left, hard left.
It's a hit! And the rocket men have just scored their first direct hit.
The Law Dogs have yet to score, and they only have 2 attempts left. The Law Dogs are off to a good start, but the Rocket Men are quickly on the offensive. But something's wrong.
The Rocket Men are hung up on the island. We now have a problem. Now, this is going to be interesting because both the weapons are going to be in there at the same time.
Yeah.
Here comes Thumper. Looks like she's sniffed out a crafty shortcut.
The Law Dogs. Oh, they jammed themselves in there.
Thumper took a rather unorthodox route through the sub-island passage and actually is stuck in the netting, puffing away rather tragically.
So the cops have blown it, and the NASA men are heading their way. Time for evasive action.
Start paddling, Tom.
Paddle, Tom.
Back. Go on defense. Throw him in.
Whoops, they've thrown their hose in the water.
They've thrown whatever they can at them.
But nothing can stand in its way. Marine debris means business.
Go, 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 go. Left, left.
Law Dogs are in trouble.
They're in trouble.
Oh, in trouble. No! It is a miss.
That's rough. We're staying alive.
Teams, this is round number 5. This is your last chance, Law Dogs.
Yeah.
Try and get another one, Rocket Men. Wait for the horn.
The Law Dogs give it all they've got for their final strike. But marine debris is quicker to the gap.
Do we have another collision here?
I think they're going to miss each other.
The Rocket Men are slipping past for another strike.
Already facing attack, the Law Dogs have got to stay cool and make their aim deadly but true.
Okay, turn to your right. Go, that's it.
They've just got to clear this final obstacle.
Look at Thumper, the Law Dogs Thumper is just a mess.
Thumper is dragging the obstacle with it, heading for the target. Single-minded torpedo that it is.
Let's get back to the Rocket Men.
They're moving in. They're moving in. Oh, they're moving in quickly.
They're moving in. They're going in for their shot. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
What's it going to be?
Go! No! It is a miss.
But with still one hit, the Rocket Men are the torpedo titans of Junkyard Wars.
Good job, guys.
It's just very sad.
No, it's not.
No.
We had a great time.
Yeah, then we have to go back to work.
That's what we said about it.
But you know what? I think there's definitely a place for Thumper in the Museum of Torpedo History.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Good job, man. Good job. That was an outstanding design.
Good job. That was close.
That was a good competition, guys.
Hey, if you thought that was fun, join us next week for the Junkyard Wars Finals.